These
All
are
right.
my bad glasses. The ones that go in my helmet. I was going to ask you a question about post-secondary education. I find it very hard to afford university, and just colleges and stuff. So how does your party stand on tuition costs and things like that?
Well, we think it's absolutely ridiculous that the smart, bright future, the generation that's going to run this country, are struggling with huge debt for post-secondary education. There's many countries around the world where post-secondary education is absolutely free. That would be the ultimate goal for the Green Party. We'd want to follow the global Greens. That you're smart, you're working hard, you're getting the grades. That absolutely, that it would be totally covered. But initially, we would just implement. In the current policy, they put towards $1 billion so that young adults could work 4 years, guaranteed a certain wage, and then they would get a credit towards their university costs. But ultimately, there is a way so that it can be affordable, because it's ridiculous kids come out of school with such high debt.
So the government would put in more funds in to kind of just make, not just to have more loans and grants, but to actually put more money into post-secondary education, or all kinds of education would actually like solve a lot of the world's problems. There's
Right.
just a lack of education. So does the Green Party kind of understand that?
And supports arts and culture, supports diversity within our culture, right? Because if you want to go and be a mathematician, and I want to be a zoologist, like whatever our interests are, if it's going to better Canada and we're growing and we've got the diversity, it'll just make our country stronger.
And other types of education other than university that I think is important is family planning and birth control. How does your party feel about that and the world's overpopulation problem?
Absolutely. There is obviously too many people in the world, and we would promote family planning and teaching young people. Young people are having sexual relationships, and rather than deny it's happening, like what's happening right now, and it's not being addressed early enough, we'd want to let them know. And one of the ads for the Youth Greens, it was a condom, and it said "Heat up the bedroom, not the planet." Meaning that people need to be educated at a young age. That there's ways to not produce more people. And if you choose to have a family, it's planned, and maybe we can't dictate how many children you're going to have, but let's be smart about it.
I find that in BC, insurance for motorcycles is very expensive, and I find that there's not a lot of advantages like parking or reserved lanes for motorcycles to travel. Do you think your party would help alternate modes of transportation like motorcycles or hybrid cars or things like that?
Before you leave today, I hope you can film around the corner. We've got the Carbon Cube, and it's set 27 feet square, so 27 feet high, 27 feet long, and the width. And that is what the carbon that is emitted by any person driving a regular car in 18 days. So we're absolutely wanting to reduce our footprint, and the Greens would encourage hybrid cars, motorcycles, what do they call the little
Mopeds?
Yeah,
electric ones too.
electric and bicycles, and make those user friendly and provide the education. Unfortunately, in Parksville, there was just a fellow driving a motorcycle that just died a few days ago. Right? The awareness for the people that aren't driving them, and to keep promoting people to drive motorcycles. And I don't know why the insurance should be more when you're doing your part to reduce the amount of, you're being so efficient with a smaller vehicle, your gas is going smaller.
Well, I think it's important that motorcyclists ride in a defensive way, and not everybody takes the right kind of training or actually applies it on the road. But and also insurance, I think, might be expensive because just crashes cost a lot of money. Like if somebody's head is not protected, their injuries will be worse and things like that.
Right.
Yeah. So thank you, and I'm going to ask Angela. You can stop it, Angela.
Okay.